Hey guys, welcome back to Rudder Realty Gulf Coast, where today we're going to be talking about how to win when you're competing against multiple offers. Here we go. The first thing you want to consider whenever you're competing against multiple offers is the purchase price. Now, obviously, the higher the purchase price is, the more appealing your offer is going to be to the seller because the more they're going to net upon sale. If you're in a market that's not that competitive, then your offer is typically going to come in at list price or below list price. But if you're in a highly competitive market, then your offer is going to be at list price and in some scenarios, tens of thousands of dollars above the list price. Now, where might that present a problem? The appraisal. Another way you can structure your offer to be better than others is by be willing to pay above the appraised value of the home. So if you offer $525,000 and it appraises for $500,000, then be willing to pay, let's say, $10,000 above the appraised value. And technically you'd be $10,000 more out of pocket, $10,000 more in the hole as far as equity is concerned. But if you anticipate the value of the home continuing to appreciate over time, then eventually you'll recapture that $10,000 and you'll have it back. Another thing you can do is you can increase your earnest money. This will help the seller feel better about accepting your offer compared to somebody else who might have less earnest money, which will make them feel at peace because in the event that you were to back out of the deal for a reason that's not in the purchase agreement, they would have more money in pocket. Another thing you could do is have your agent write in an escalation clause. Now, what's that? Basically, you would say, I promise to beat anybody else's offer by X amount up to whatever your cap is. So let's use this example. You offer $500,000, offering to beat anybody else's offer by $2,000 up to a max price of $525,000. So you'll never pay more than $525,000 for the home. And let's say somebody else submits an offer for $510,000. Your offer would automatically escalate to the $512,000, beating that offer by the $2,000. Now, that helps you not pay the max price for the house, not offering $525,000, and it gives you a better chance of getting your offer accepted. Another thing you can do is you can offer to pay the seller's closing costs. Typically in a very competitive market, you would never ask for closing costs, but something you can do is offer to pay for the seller's closing costs, which will help them net more upon sale. Another thing to think about is the seller's timeline. If they need a quick closing or if they need a closing that's later, like a month and a half in order to get things in order before they move, ask your agent to talk to the listing agent and find out what's the best timeline for the seller so that you're offering something that's more appealing to them. Another thing you can do is you can shorten your contingency timelines. So typically the contingencies are anywhere from 7 to 10 business days, and you can offer to shorten those to, let's say, 3 business days so that you're not tying up the seller's property for a long period of time in the event that you choose to back out of the purchase agreement. Another thing you could do is remove contingencies altogether. So let's say your contingency on insurance cost, you could remove that, and the less contingencies you have, the better and more appealing it's going to be to the seller. So some people in some scenarios will even remove your inspection contingency, which that would be a last resort. I would not recommend doing that, but I have seen it done, and typically it does make the offer so appealing to a seller, especially if there are repairs that the seller knows about that they were going to need to make. It's one less thing that they have to worry about. Another thing that you might be able to do, and not everybody has the flexibility on this, is changing your loan type. Typically, if you have a VA loan or an FHA loan, the appraisal process is more strict and might require more repairs than, let's say, a conventional loan. So if you had a conventional loan and a VA or an FHA loan that were the same exact offer except for the loan type, typically the seller is going to choose the conventional loan because it has the possibility of having less repairs for the seller. Another thing you could do is write a personal letter to the seller. Now, this doesn't work all the time for every seller, but if a seller's been there for a long period of time, more than likely they are emotionally tied to the property and they want to feel good about whoever is purchasing the property. Last and most importantly is choosing a great agent that knows all of these things to give you the best chance at winning your dream home. If you need some help in interviewing an agent around you, reach out to me. I'd be happy to do that in your local area. And I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you liked it, like it. And if you're watching this on a medium, you could subscribe. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace and God bless.